Hey guys, FLHT CUI 2000 here. Sipping on a little Dr. Pepper, thinking about hobbies. I sent a video reply to Soul Survivor 2X. He's giving away an SR9C by Ruger, a gun I was going to buy, and I bought my Glock 19 instead. And she wanted you to give some pointers and stuff like that to, whatever you do. And in my case, I said I got a lot of things. I'm started riding motorcycles when before I was a teenager. I've been ham radio operator since 1974, amateur radio. I scuba dive. I'm a computer gamer. I like to play Call of Duty, Unreal Tournament, and some of the other games online. Things like that. My grandson and I have a good time playing video games together. So those are kind of the hobbies. Scuba diving, I do enjoy going scuba diving. We've got some clear lakes around here, Table Rock, Bull Shoals, and Beaver Lake, and I dive those, and it's nice. Um, get down there about 60 feet. Visibility is not the greatest in lakes, and it's cold. You have to wear like a 7 mil wetsuit or 6 mil or something like that wetsuit because the temperature of the water is in the 60s, and when you're down that low, it can be 80 degrees on the surface, but once you get down past the thermocline and get down about 60, 80 feet, stuff like that, some of the places I go diving, I've been down to 150, and it is miserable cold down there. And you have to wear a hood and gloves and all that stuff, so it really constricts you. But motorcycles are my number one hobby. You can't really explain it. I've always enjoyed riding motorcycle, and I don't look forward to the day that I can't ride anymore. And it's going to come. It'll come in everybody's life, when maybe I'll go to a three wheeler. I don't really like three wheelers, but maybe then I'll go to a trike. Uh, that's all I can say about trikes. And some of the new ones, the spiders and stuff like that, that have the two front wheels in the front and the single wheel in the back, is that's not. I seen one the other day and I forgot the name of it. It has a steering wheel on it. I'm sorry, partner. When you stick a steering wheel on it, you don't. It ain't a motorcycle no more. It's a three-wheel car. I think it had air conditioning. It had a little Ford four-cylinder or something like that, and I think some guy builds it down in Texas. And I'm like, if it's got a steering wheel, it's not a motorcycle. And I'm talking from, decades of riding myself. But ride a big old bagger, full dress, ultra classic electric glide. And I've ridden everything from little dirt bikes to, this one, and everything in between. And I've owned a lot of motorcycles over the last 4 or 5 decades, whatever it's been. But it's great. You can get on it and forget your woes, get your troubles. You're out there riding, turning up and down. I live in Arkansas at the foot of the Boston Mountains, and you go up and ride around the mountains. The roads used to be gravel. I mean, they just scraped the dirt off or whatever off, and what the rock was underneath it, and that one made the road. And they used to be all be gravel, and I rode them back then. I lived in Kansas City then, but I'd bring my motorcycle down with me on vacation and stuff, and I'd ride the gravel roads and stuff like that. At one point, where my dad lived on the farm, uh, you had to ride almost 20 miles of road before you got to pavement. So it was rough and had flats and stuff like that, but it was always enjoyable. A little dusty, but always enjoyable. So I think that's probably the reason a person it keeps from going insane that rides a motorcycle. I think the old saying, you'll never see a motorcycle parked in front of a psychiatrist's office. Well, I agree. I had a stressful job. I worked a job that was every call was upsetting and mad about something. I worked computer support, senior support for a company called TWA PARS, and then they went on to WorldSpan. Now it's called Travelport. At least that's what it says on my retirement check. And they it was computer support, proprietary software and equipment, and they called you every time their printers wouldn't print their tickets and stuff like that. And all day long, you got angry people calling you. And I was the escalation point. They came to me with the hard problems, and I ended up having to deal with people from day in, day out, having to call back and things like that. And it was super stressful, but I'd get outside and I'd crank my bike up and leave work, and I'd almost forget about it by the time I got home. It was just that uh, soul soothing, I guess you might say. And I rode year round. I rode in the single digits. I rode home in a blizzard one time. A quick snowstorm came up, and it's like, wow, I got to go home. And there's snow all over the roads, and the windshield was it was a slushy, wet snow, luckily, and so my tires cut through it. And I made it home safely. It's 10 miles, but believe me, I was moving pretty slow to do it. I bet that's the longest it ever took me, 10 miles to go on a motorcycle in my life. And the windshield was covered, and I couldn't keep. I had to look up over the windshield, to see where I was going. But all in all, even though I've got some uh, permanent damage due to motorcycle wrecks over the last 50 years, um, shoulders and stuff that are messed up, and some few other things, it's still the best therapy a person can have. Uh, that being said, some of the terms that people use, people look at me and they say, "Oh, you're a biker?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a biker. I'm a motorcycle rider." Bikers are people I consider hardcore, that live and breathe it. I ride a lot. I probably ride more than some of the bikers do, but I've got 70,000 miles on my Harley right now, and I used to ride about 12,000 miles, 10 to 12,000 miles a year, always. And I still put a lot of miles on a bike, but the term biker just kind of makes you think of outlaw bikers, Hell's Angels, stuff like that. My brother rode with the Banditos down around Houston, Texas. That's where I was born and raised, down in that area. And he was a biker. I rode motorcycles before he ever got into motorcycles, but he lived it, breathed it, went to prison, and died it. I mean, he got in a fight and somebody killed him. Simple as that. Uh, the biker lifestyle, they always say, got your back, you're my brother, the brotherhood, but Banditos forever, forever Banditos. That's fine. I don't have, if that's the way you want to live, that's great for you, not for me. I didn't do it. I could have gone that way if my life, back when he joined, I was still down there and I looked up to him, and I probably could have gone that way, but I didn't. Thank God I didn't. But that's what I consider a biker. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. I sound. I've ridden all kinds of motorcycles, have ridden and will ride, until I can't ride no more. Go to a trike, God forbid. If I'm not able to keep two wheels up, I'll go back to three wheels. Um, that being said, I'm not a big fan of trikes, but a regular standard trike I like. Um, this spider thing with the wheels in the front, I don't know. I don't like it. Simple as that. It's my taste. I just don't like it. It's two wheels in the front and one wheel in the rear. And I seen one the other day that had kind of a tub sides to it and had a steering wheel on it. You know what? Let me be perfectly clear. If you put a steering wheel, it is not a motorcycle. You're steering it like a car. It is no longer a motorcycle, in my opinion. I think it had a Ford four-cylinder in it, and I think it even had air conditioning that would blow on you. It is not a motorcycle if you've got a steering wheel and air conditioning and stuff like. Might as well throw a top on it. That'd be. Maybe it did. It may have had a little vinyl top you could flip up on it. That's my opinion. Doesn't count for anything. Your opinion is your opinion. Um, just, uh, just great. Motorcycle riding is probably the one thing in all my life that I really truly enjoyed. And I don't get me wrong, I enjoy my ham radio hobby. I got some friends I've been talking to for 30 something years, and it's a great indoor hobby. Keeps you something to do in the wintertime, and when it's too hot to get out there and play, do things like that, too cold and too snowy and whatever the case may be. It's a great hobby too. So is the computer stuff. But the motorcycle is a great therapy tool. How's that sound? Maybe I get the doctor to write me a prescription and said he must ride his Harley at least 5 hours a week for therapy, and it'll be a tax write-off. And I'll buy me a new one. Right now, I need a new one. Mine's getting some miles on it. Like I said, about 70,000 on it. So still putting along though. That's my view on that, and I think this is the longest video I put out there. Rambling on. Peace. God's good to me and mine.